What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm out here at Brandenburg, Kentucky at Mead Olin Park, and we're going to be playing Top Score Takeover. I'm sure that's something that Foundation or somebody has already done, but I'm preparing for the Brandenburg AM championships, so I need to kind of set a goal for myself and try to shoot what the people in MA2 is going to be the division that I'm playing in, see what the winner of it shot, and then what the hot round at Mead Olin was. I think the hot round right now for MA2 was a -3, and I want to say that the winner shot a -2. So pretty much anything under par be pretty stellar today and kind of put me in the mix. So I'm also going to be putting into practice some of the things that Chris Dickerson taught me whenever me and him played 18 holes at Harmon Hills. If you haven't seen that video, I'm going to link it above right here, and it's going to be in the description below. It's a little chilly today. I'm actually wearing pants for once. That's kind of new for me. Goal is 4 under par. That would be the new top score takeover on the PDGA tournament site, where Tyler LaFontaine shot a -3, and then the winner of that event, Bradley Wagner, he shot a -2. He just played a little bit better at Otter Creek, is the other course that they normally play in the Brandenburg AMS. And if you want to sign up for the Brandenburg AMS, the link for that event is going to be in the description below. It's always a blast. It's out here in Brandenburg. Mead Olin is one of my favorite courses in the area. But let's get into it, guys. Let's see if we can take over the top score out here at Mead Olin. So one of the main things that Chris Dickerson was telling me to do is to make sure that this finger, the disc, pivots around it. And then he threw a buzz 350 to 400 with one finger. It's a little eye-opening, but it got me to thinking about my grip and how I tend to kind of throw nose up. So I started looking at my grip and the way that I'm holding the disc, and I hold the disc with all 4 fingers, and it almost makes it impossible for me to get the nose down. So then I talked to my buddy Trevor, and he was telling me some things that he does as well. Especially with a wide rim driver, I feel like that I throw nose up really easy. When I grip with 4 fingers, it's very hard for me to get the nose down because this last finger kind of like puts a weird hinge in my wrist or something. So Trevor, talked to him a little bit. He throws, or did throw, 2-finger grip like this, but he said that that may have been what had caused his finger injury earlier in the year. He kind of advised me to not throw with only 2. He said to at least kind of stack this 3rd finger in there like that. So in a combination between Chris Dickerson's advice, which was to pivot the disc around this pointer finger, so like just make sure you have a good pinch point here, and when you throw, the disc will rip out of that around that finger. So a hybrid of Chris's advice and my buddy Trevor's advice, both great players, both throw 500 feet. I've came up with a new grip for myself that I feel like is going to give me a little bit of nose down on my drives, especially wide rim drivers. And that is to pinch the disc here and then stack these fingers kind of in. So this is my new kind of grip. And then this is how nose down I can get it. I don't know if there's flexibility issues here or what, but the goal is to get the disc nose down while still having some pressure applied to it. I've already seen a few feet distance increases just by doing that, and I'm a little more confident with the disc ripping out of my hand. Maybe not so much today in the cold, but a normal day when it's not 20 degrees, the disc will rip out of my hand and I'll get that nice little that everybody gets when they throw. So I'm getting a lot more distance on my shots from that and a lot more snap as long as I do my job form-wise and throw with my elbow and just let the disc snap out. So today we're gonna be focused on that pretty much the entire round. I'm gonna still try to have my tournament mindset and like start to separate the two. So training and tournament play need to be completely separate. You don't need to be thinking about how to throw while you're training for a tournament, but I'm still kind of in the off season and still working on stuff. So I'm trying to get 2 birds with 1 stone today. We'll see how it works out. Really muddy, really soppy. A little colder than I thought it would be this morning. Let's start a U-disc. We're going to be playing the OG layout. That's what they play in the Brandenburg AMS for MA2 is the division I'm going to be playing in. So hole 1, it says, is 471 feet. It plays like 5 something. because after you get past this valley, you've got to kind of go up that hill. I've seen Keith Galliser, I've seen him get a birdie on it pretty easy with like a roller and even a straight shot. Your big arms can kind of go high and hyzer. I just don't have that. I think I will do 2 and go on this hole just to kind of warm up. Hopefully no pond. Right in the pond. A little short. That's not bad. That was a realm thrown kind of nose down, kind of new for this year. I'm gonna be a mixed bag, still sponsored by Gateway, but I'm gonna throw 50% Gateway. So some of the bigger drivers and stuff, I'm trying out like a wave from MVP, throwing like a T-bird. And I just need the freedom to like try out some different discs and do some reviews for you guys, things like that. Still sponsored by Gateway, still love all Gateway stuff. It's just, as a content creator, I hate to use that word, but as a YouTuber, I kind of have to be able to do some reviews on different plastics. So I'll probably be doing like a Rollo review and a wave review pretty soon. So let me know if you guys are excited for that. All right, new grip, trying to really drive the elbow. And that is right at about 350-ish. So I noticed whenever I hurt my foot, it made me slow down off the tee. And that was like an eye-opener, I guess, to how fast I run up. So I've been trying to slow my run up down and trying to kind of like leave that left side of my body behind until the disc comes out. So that wave that did pretty good, that was with the left side of my body kind of lagging behind and not following through with my arm. Not a sponsor or anything like that, but Trevor Harbault has these towels. If you want some, be sure to message him on Instagram. One of the best disc golf towels I've used, really. It's just like a regular kind of like dish towel, but really does good like with the water. Kind of uphill, kind of snug. See if we can't just get a little hyzer shot in. Yeah. That's all I want. Kind of just paced down on a prophecy there, but I did use that 3-finger grip like I've been using for kind of all my shots. Feeling like that's getting me some nose down action on my throws. 100% the way you want to start. That almost bounced out. 3, starting off strong. This hole should be very reachable for this assassin. I've aced it with a boss, but that was a long time ago and spike hyzer maybe. I'm just gonna try to put this on a little hyzer. Still using that same grip. So Chris's grip was like this. It's like a fan grip. But I felt like that's how hard that is for me to get nose down. So the way my fingers are shaped, everybody's fingers are different. For me to get nose down, it's easier to do this 3-finger. It's really easier to do 2 fingers, but that's what Trevor said hurt his hand. So I'm gonna try this 3-finger grip for nose down. It's so hard to get my wrist to bend that far. So that's the thing too. So used to throwing nose up, that assassin just flipped over and bailed on me. But it's supposed to do that. It's a flippy driver. Now I'm throwing fast enough that it's actually flippy, and I'm throwing nose down enough that it's actually flippy. I think I may have been throwing fast enough before, but it was just not nose down. A little short, where it kind of flipped over like big time. But I'm still working on stuff, and until I get it fixed, it's gonna be a little shaky. There we go. That's a makeable putt.
I got a makeable putt.
Would have liked to have that a little higher in the air to get a little more like cut back on it, but I'll take it. I actually threw it pretty good. You could hear it coming out of my hand. It's kind of all I'm listening for during this round, is to see if I'm letting the disc rip out of my hand. That's kind of a bad example because that's not a shot that you would really want to hear that on. But the tee shot here, I could hear it on this, and it actually flipped over. Shows me I'm kind of doing what I'm wanting to do. And then after that, it's all down to angle control. There we go. Warm my putt up. Couple of 3s to start the round. Not too bad though. Put in another 3. This is a short hole, but I'm still gonna try to use a mid, I think. Got a little bit of wind. Yeah. That's all I want out of it. Kind of paced down too much on that mid. That was a prophecy. Kind of way short on that tee shot. Oh, this is one that you really want. Same. Foot's still a little tender, but I should have got that one. A couple of drop ins for par. All right, another par, guys. Never can complain about par though. I am a little upset. That hole is short enough. I should get a birdie. I should have threw a putter as hard as I can instead of trying to pace down on a mid-range and trying to get a mid-range there. This is a good little forehand shot. The basket's kind of just straight. You've got to dodge these trees with like a big anhyzer. That's what I always try to throw on it. All my birdies are going away. Gotta fix my distance, man. It's so short. Pretty good distance for a putt. Gotta get off of this par train. Gotta start getting some birdies. I mean, par's never bad. It just is on the last 2 holes. This hole's so hard to film because there's always like, there's a bunch of stuff behind the tee pad. Hey. That actually worked. I was actually nose down for once, guys. That was an assassin, the way I've been wanting to throw it. Kind of high and let it turn over, but I actually threw it this time. We might have our first birdie look. One thing I learned from my round with Chris was you've got to be your own like cheerleader. You've got to never count yourself out. The whole time we were playing, he stayed positive, acted like we were going to get a birdie at any second. Probably about a 45 and all straddle, a little anhyzer even. A little more fight back out of that assassin, and I would be kind of in here. And I actually just stayed held over, which is great. Shows that I actually threw it nose down and with some speed. Guess we need to put in our last 2 pars, huh? I always forget to put pars in. We almost got a birdie. If it could have like flexed a little more straight, I think we would have had a birdie opportunity there. Hole 6 is a pump. It's just way uphill. We got to try to run it. If we go OB, we go OB. I mean, that's all right. I kind of chickened out right at the end. I always do that on this hole. You've got to like test the OB so bad. Got a little throw in opportunity. See if we can get this chief there. Yeah, there's OB really close to the basket. So I don't want to go OB right next to it. Just realized I've been filming in the wrong ISO the entire time, so the first part of this may look bad. Still on the par train. Now we got a little bit of tailwind. I'm gonna try to throw this super light. I think it's a 167 wave and see if I can't get it to stay held over. I really need to throw it just proper. And it slipped as I threw it. Yeah. Should be able to get an easy par from there. And I think we found where my weak spot in my game is at. Try to throw a big anhyzer. Probably do a little patent pending-ish. Throw it kind of high. That's gonna be a long putt for par. That hurt my foot. Oh, this is a big putt. Need this to stay even. That was better. Guess I shouldn't have complained about the pars, huh? That's our first bogey. It's not throwing good today. I'm sure I'm thinking about it too much, trying too hard, all those kind of things. Now let's try to get an element. Let's try to get an element through this gap. That'll keep pushing. Just have no energy today on my shots. I think I'm running up again. Moving too fast on the tee. Oh, dang. That would have been a great putt. Another par. That's a birdie. That's a birdie I really want. That hole's short enough. I should be able to birdie it pretty often. I'm gonna try a flex shot with this Realm. See if I can't get it to just do like a S shot and go straight as the basket. That's gonna be just fine. A little weak, like everything has been. This green gets real touchy. So I'm gonna just try to throw a Houdini wide and let it come back in on a backhand. Chill, please. I think that was low enough. That was not wide. Right as I threw it, I felt like a little gust of headwind and got afraid to throw it for some reason. It's a Houdini. It's gonna fight the headwind. A little bit of a tester putt. Oh, snuck in there. There we go. That was a little better hit. Neither one of those were really high enough for my comfort. So, shooting one over on the front nine. It's a little windy, it's a little cold, but if I remember correct, that's kind of how the conditions were during the Brandenburg AMS last year. So the score that I'm going after is pretty relative to what's going on right now. May have been even a little windier then. We got 9 holes left. There's still an opportunity for me to shoot under par and maybe even tie that 3 under. So now we're starting in on the back 9. We're on hole 10. It's one of the toughest holes at Mead Olin, but probably the easiest to birdie. It's a par 4, but you got to kind of go way up this hill after this tee shot. So your second shot is a pump. I think I'm gonna try to throw this wave kind of just straight down the gut. Try to get a little skip out of it at the end. That'll actually be really good. I'm trying to play that hillside, so I've got like a big second shot from there. Wave actually did good. So what I'm trying to do with that shot is get up here. So I wanted this to kind of get a little more skip, because then that's kind of a level ground to throw this second shot. This is fine. It's just gonna be a little more work. Throwing a T-bird on an Annie, let it flex back. That is up there for a putt. I almost bit it. Right there's my foot, but that's up there for a putt. So I'm trying Chris's grip now, and I'm loving it. Like McDonald's, baby. Anytime you're throwing uphill, you got to throw a little bit of Anheuser or Heiser. Throwing flat uphill is kind of all about throwing angles. There it is. 9-10. So that would have been right at the 30-foot range. All right, guys, starting this 9 off on a pretty good note. That is a birdie. Kind of an easy par 4 as long as you throw a good tee shot. Your second shot is really key on that hole. You want to get all the way up the hill and give yourself a look for a putt. It's always a tough hole for me to get a birdie on. Now I'm going to be going assassin and trying to throw it just straight down this gut, hoping for a little bit of flip up. Or a lot of bit of luck. How lucky was that? I don't even know if you guys could see it on the camera, but it went in between all those trees to the right. That's not a shot we can count on whatsoever. A lot of things that I had to give up, turning like 38, almost 40. Birdies wasn't one of those that I thought I would have to give up. See if we can get one here. This is long. Used to throw a mid-range at this in my prime. A lot of spin, a lot of height, probably 70 feet. Oh, chill though. All right, pretty good distance with that putter. At least we got a pretty easy tap in par out of it. Threw an assassin off the tee there, got insanely lucky. So this is Chris's grip that he was telling me to use. Pretty much like pointer and then pinky, and then these two are on the flight plate. So you've got a lot of grip on the disc, but not so much that it can't rip out of your hand. But the disc doesn't move. So let's try this cookies and cream. There it is. That was great. So that was my cookies and cream element. See how close we got. We may be looking at our first birdie. Just dead straight. That's a good birdie, guys. Whew, I don't even want to putt another one to see if it was true. Whew. So now we're on track, -1. So without that bogey, we would be -2. We'd be tying the winner of MA2, who shot better, I guess, at Otter Creek to win it. Right now, we're kind of keeping pace. This is one of the toughest holes on the course for a backhand. I throw kind of like a flex shot. We've got a headwind today. That's not gonna make it any easier, so we'll kind of see how we do. I don't know, I think Diablo, maybe. It's kind of really a cross wind, so I think I'm just gonna throw this Assassin kind of flat, see if I can't get it to go straightish. Yep, it did. That's actually a good kick. Man, that crosswind, like, it's blowing this way, but it's just never gonna let the disc turn up. You have to have something crazy flippy, and then when it turns up, it's gonna get smashed. It's really a good hole for a forehand. That's how disc golf is, though, sometimes. You've got to pick your battles. You know that you can't birdie a hole in the current conditions, then you can't beat yourself up for not getting a birdie on a hole that's extremely hard to birdie right now. And I knew this was going to be a tough shot, so I just threw and kind of hoped for the best. Just a little toss. I may give it like a little soft bed. Got kind of some wind though. I'm gonna just kind of try to throw this Wizard a little higher than I would think. Yep, that happened. Just make it easy on yourself, Eric. It is way too windy for this length of putt. We got this. Let me flip it. I hate putting when it's super windy. I'm normally a push putter, and when it's windy like that, I have to spin putt. 9 times out of 10, I putt too high. Saved our 3, but way farther than I want to be when it's this windy. Now we've got a lot of OB on the right side over here, so I'm going to throw like a Thunderbird. Try to kind of push left. Kind of flex this Thunderbird though. Yeah, I mean, that's all I want. It's a little short, but it's super windy. Definitely a get them if you can kind of birdie day. I think I'm gonna try this upside down, just kind of hyzery around that tree. Like that. Let me see what it would have done right side up. Yeah, and that's why I do that upside down, because the wind's not gonna blow it anywhere. This is gonna be a tough putt to make. It's probably 60 feet, kind of all uphill, so. And that's why we throw our putter upside down. All right, so another par. Not too bad though on that hole. So now we're at one of the toughest holes on the course. I'm gonna try to throw this wave on a little hyzer flip. We got a lot of headwind, and see if I can't get down this fairway and have kind of a look at a second shot. This is a pump times 2. This turned into a fun shot. There's a Mando on that tree. I think I'm just gonna try to get this Assassin kind of up there in the shade in front of the basket. Probably 380 to that. We're missing the Mando, works too. Worst possible scenario happened. Missed the Mando, so now I've got to try to throw it in for par. 1, 2, 3, throw in 4. Here's the drop zone. I mean, that may be up there for a putt for 5. We could be taking a 6, which really sucks because we worked so hard to get to where we are. This is hole 15. Throw away our whole tournament on one hole. 4, 5. Oh, man. If we could go bogey free today, we would be shooting pretty good. That brings us back to even. We have 3 holes left, and they're probably the toughest ones to birdie for me. A little tailwind. That'd be a long look at it. Wasn't nearly high enough. Another long birdie look. About a 45, almost 50. Gonna play like 80. Dang it. Well, unless we can get an ace. We're sitting in 3rd place, maybe worse. Ooh, got a little tailwind, I guess. That's another 3. Shooting even. Really, the goal on these next 2 holes is just to stay in bounds. If I can do that, I mean, that's pretty respectable finish. How I'm playing today. If I'm playing good and playing solid, I kind of expect to shoot maybe a 6 out here, but playing a little weak today. So I'm gonna throw this just kind of flat, really. Trust the disc. That'll work. That's almost in a putt range. Need to put this one straight. Come on, baby. That is a banger right there. Woo! Probably 50 feet, maybe 40, 45. We had a lot of wind though. Two in a row. I just had to give it height. Woo! That was a birdie when we needed it. That felt really good. Whew. Feels like I'm playing golf again. All right, so that was a 2, probably from like 45 feet. Pretty big tailwind. Now we've got hole 18. We're just trying to stay in bounds. I used to park this with a Wraith way back in the day. So let's see how Foundation's Wraith. That ain't parking it. It's safe though. That's nose up. I think I used to throw like flex shots a lot. I've got to do something about my distance. It's killing me. I'm just not throwing nearly far enough. Everything I throw goes like 300 feet. So it's getting really defeating. And I'm shooting good, not throwing far. So imagine how good I'd shoot if I could throw 300 feet, 350. Well, and it's one of those things too, where you've got to set like realistic expectations for yourself. I'm older, I'm heavier. I still should be throwing farther than I am though. And it's not all throw far, but I feel like the rest of my game, chill. That's gonna be a fun putt. Wow, this does not look, that does not look as far as it is on camera there. This is probably 30 feet. Really tired of scrambling for par. So all those par strokes are really iffy. Like I finished 1 under, but how close did I really finish to 1 under? But yeah, that was the first episode of Top Score Takedown. Let me know what you guys thought of this kind of format of me playing. And I may try to do some more videos like this in the future. Hopefully I can move up the ranks, and like maybe if I beat MA2's score, I can move up to MA1 and that'd be my new leaderboard that I try to beat. If you guys think this would make a great series, you know, leave that in the comments. I'm always open to feedback, and you know, that's how we grow as a channel and community here on YouTube. So, and here's a video that YouTube thinks you might like from me. Have a great day. Stay in the fairway, guys. I'm hoping that this year is my year. I'm really wanting to at least win 1 tournament and maybe a B tier. My goal is to win a B tier this year.